in Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, fields and streams. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where those dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The coyotes run all night. It's music to my ears and in my sights. I've got this hunting fever down in my bones. I'm glad my daddy taught me everything I know. From those white-tailed bucks to strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. From those white-tailed bucks to strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The TLC Outfitter is our name.
Hey folks, happy Tuesday night. Welcome to On Air and Outdoors with TLC Outfitters. We appreciate you all tuning in very much. We are excited tonight about tonight's show. We got a very special guest going to be coming on. We got our buddy Dustin from all the way down south, down there in Florida. And he is from RIX Thermal Optics. And we're going to be talking about all the products RIX has to offer. You've been hearing us talk about all this thermal stuff. We're going to be talking about thermal tactics. We're going to be talking about coyote hunting and everything RIX has to offer. Joined tonight by Dustin Williams and also our cohort right here, Matt Woolwine. Man, we had a little action this weekend too.
Yeah, man, it's this whole thermal thing's back open in Kentucky, folks, and need to get a hold of us and find out what it's all about. But, you know, we got out. We got to spend some time with some new friends of TLC Outfitters, and we're able to, you know, call in a nice dog and get one on the ground. So good weekend.
That's right, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. If you've not done so, please like and share the show. Get the word out there about all things on air and outdoors. And we did, man. We had a grand weekend. You know, we've teamed up with the Bicknell Bunch. We've teamed up with Jay and his family. And we've also teamed up with Trapline Beard Oil. And, man, that's one of my favorite things about what we do is all the good folks we get to meet and fellowship with, that common denominator, man, of the great outdoors. It's like we've known each other, you know, for a long time. So, you know, Dustin Williams with RIX Thermal Optics is no different, man. We're excited to have him on tonight. We're going to have him on here in just a few moments. But talking about our escapades this weekend, man, we started out with a little chow with the Bicknell Bunch.
Yeah, man. little Mexican food up there, and got to hang out with these guys. And oh man, just kicked off the weekend good Friday night there.
That's right, man. We appreciate him very much taking time out of their busy schedule to be with us. That's for sure. So we started out that Friday night, and we got after some dogs. It started out, man. It was tough, dude. It was, I mean, just some rough conditions. You know, rain. We had a bunch of rain. Rain leads to fog, and just a real real not ideal conditions. But we got out there and got after them. We got some pictures that we like awful lot. You know, we were just fooling around with the camera or whatever else. This is 12:40 a.m. 12:40 a.m. We talk about these phone cameras all the time.
Yeah, we talk about not having to go out and spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a game on a video camera or something if you want to start videoing your own hunts. We always talk about, you know, everybody's got a cell phone in their pocket of some sort, and how those can be used to capture memories and pictures and this and that. And this is just the proof's in the pudding right here, folks. 12:30 in the morning. I mean, you can even see the color of the grass. But to be honest with you, these ain't the best pictures. You've got a lot better pictures than this. And
Oh yeah. We got a lot better than this. And that's Matt right there looking through those Aurora 6s, A6 RIX laser range finding binoculars right there, scanning the fields for a coyote. And yeah, we got some more coming up. Here's one of the Bignell bunch. Look at that, man. I mean, this is on the second night.
Yeah, here it is. There again, it's after, I don't know, it's what, 11 o'clock at night or something like that. You can see all the stars in the sky there, but look at the colors that are popping from that picture. I mean, you can see the color of the leaves, the grass. Just crazy what these phones will do these days.
That's right, man. But looking through that Leap 6 right there, man, ready and waiting, perched up there, ready and waiting for a song dog to come along. We got one more. This is one of my, and this just kind of showed the conditions we were hunting in, man. I mean, just fog, real heavy fog rolled in. You know, we dealt with some fog Friday night, but we thought we were in the clear Saturday night. And boy, that fog rolled in there, man. But listen, these RIX, these L6s, man, I mean, didn't stop us. And it's like it wasn't even there.
You know, you and I had talked earlier in the week, talking about how, you know, the weather wasn't looking great, and, you know, did we really want to give it a shot? And I was like, listen, this thermal season has been out for too long. I'm ready to get back in the thermal game. And so we put a plan together. We actually were expecting Saturday night to be the better night. You know, we thought Friday night was going to be a complete rain out.
Yeah.
And so we put a plan together. We got out there, and it just goes to show you that you may not be doing it right. You may not be doing it all the time, but get out there and do something, you know. But I love this picture, man. And if you all have been over to the Bignell Bunch's page, you've seen this picture, and he paired that with a Thessalonians verse out of the Bible that talks about the Lord coming in the thief, like a thief in the night. And I mean, it's all. This picture. I mean, this is 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
2:30 in the morning.
I tell you what, man, it is just a great weekend. A great weekend. And man, that brings us to our Bignell Bunch brag board. And you know, we're so used, man, to you know, spreading it around to everybody else. But guess who's on the Bignell Bunch brag board this week?
I believe that's two redheaded brothers.
That's right, babe. Two redheaded brothers right there getting it done. What an awesome hunt, dude. And as you can see right there, man, I mean, we got that Fox Pro going on right there with them MFK calls. We've got that rifle top with that L6, man, RIX Leap 6. And of course, you know what's in your hand, those Aurora 6s, and you put all that together, man, it makes for some great, I mean, state of the art coyote hunting.
Yeah. No, this was a good night. You know, like I said, this was our third stand. Struck out, you know, on the first 2 stands, and if anybody out there's, you know, 1975 Reds fans, they'll know that you know, Pete Rose, he said, you know, if a man gets 1 hit out of 3, you'll put him in the Hall of Fame. And here we are. Of course, that's got a side note. You can't bet on baseball or whatever you're doing, but if you get 1 hit out of 3, you're going to get put in the Hall of Fame. So this was our third stand. Struck out on our first 2 stands, but hit a home run right here.
Yep, absolutely, man. Let's take a look. We've got a question here that I'm going to hold. Zach has asked here, but I'm going to hold that till we get Dustin on, and we're going. I want him because I want his expertise on this question. We'll be right with you in just a few moments here, Zach, and give us just a second. I want to show this coyote, and then we'll be ready to get to our special guest, Dustin Williams from RIX Thermal Optics, actually sitting and waiting all the way down there in Florida, man, ready to thump some coyotes tonight. So we don't want to keep him too late. We want to let him get set up. We appreciate him taking time out of his busy schedule to be with us. Let's take a look. Now, I want everybody to keep in mind this video is in foggy conditions, and also, you know, I downloaded this to my phone and then got it. So when you get it directly from that scope, there's going to be another level of clarity that those 640s bring. Because, you know, the good thing about these L6s and also L3s, you Bluetooth that to a phone and iPad, man, look around, scan, look, see everything in real time right there, Bluetooth to your phone, your iPad, or whatever. Look here who's joined us. Does Matt take snacks even that late at night? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That's right.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's take a look at this video from Friday night. Take us through it, Matt.
So we set up and got a dog to answer us. It sounded pretty far away, but we had some background noise with a big creek behind us, so we couldn't really tell how far away it was. And after just a couple of minutes of calling, you know, we did some lone howls there in the beginning, and then all of a sudden we threw in some pup distress calls, and this thing showed up in the middle of the field. Probably when we first spotted him, he's probably 250 yards away. Started working in, and I really think that this coyote caught a reflection of the moonlight off of our truck is what I really think happened.
Yeah.
And if you watch that video close, you'll notice that coyote is focused over to our right or the coyote's left. That's where the call's sitting. And then as he turns his face, you can see when his face is directly at where we're located there, he spooks like that. And I think he caught a reflection of that moonlight off of something. And,
yeah, our setup there was pretty tough. We had to set the call up. We're in with some cattle. 2 old ornery bulls kind of put us, back towards the truck. We didn't want to get too far away from the truck just so we'd have the safety of the truck. So we kind of set up there close by the truck just for that, whatever, because these aren't our cattle. We didn't know them. And you caught it. You said, man, there's an awful lot of moonlight out tonight. I wonder will that hinder us, being this close to the truck.
Yeah. And, those bulls were responding to that cow, that pup distress too.
Yep.
And
now
so,
he's bolted, and you can hear us trying to get this thing stopped.
He spooks, and we throw out a few lip smacks, caught him and got him to pause for a second, throw a few barks at him. These are just right out of our mouth, and then he takes off the howled at him, and that got him stopped to put the old cross.
And we've stopped a little bit short there. It's not loaded all the way up. For some reason, it's wanting to stop short tonight. But let's see if it play. No, it's not going to play the rest of the way out. But Made a pretty good shot on that old dog that far out.
Yeah, I would say, it was foggy, and those Aurora range finding binoculars, they were hitting and missing in all that fog. But I would say he's right at 150 when you pulled the trigger, and then hit him back, double lunged him, but he was able to run probably 40 or 50 yards before giving out there. So we got him.
Yep. All right, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. And folks, as tonight, as we go along, make sure you head over to RIX Thermal Optics. RIX Optics is what you'll see on Facebook, and give those folks a like and a follow so you can see everything. We're getting ready to bring our buddy on here, Dustin Williams, and we're going to be talking to him about all the lineups. And hopefully, if anybody's got a question, maybe about RIX Optics or about thermal night hunting in general, you're not going to find too many people that's got the resume this guy does in the thermal world, and coyotes too. So here we go. Let's bring him on here. We've kept him waiting long enough. There he is. How's it going, Dustin?
Man, it's going great. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Good to be here.
Man, we're thankful to have you. Been looking forward to this show right here, man, and getting you on, and hopefully, getting people fired up about these thermals. They hear Matt and I talk about them all the time, but until you experience it, man, I mean, there's nothing like it.
That's a fact. Until you're standing behind one in a field, you really don't know what you're missing. And when you can stand there in the field, you can look across there and you can see cows and deer, 1,000, 1,500 yards. If you can see that far, if your property lets you, it's definitely a game changer, and puts a wow factor on it.
Yeah.
What was what really, was shocking to me when I first started shooting thermal was the fact that from 500, 600, 700 yards, I could tell the difference between a raccoon, a skunk, and a possum. And I never believed that they would be clear enough to do that. But when you see a skunk at 500 yards, you can tell his tail's humped up. You can tell how his back lays. You can tell how his tail humps up and curves over. And, it's just really neat.
That's for sure. And spending a little time behind the thermal, you really learn to identify things a lot by body movement. Sometimes a possum and a coon will look the same until they start moving around. And then, you can tell the difference. And like I say, a skunk, you can usually always tell a skunk by its tail.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. We got some questions here I want to get to, but before we do, Dustin, I kind of want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and how did you get into the outdoors, especially this thermal scene?
So, Dustin Williams, I'm from Florida. I work for RIX Thermal Optics. Also, along with that, I also own North Florida Livestock and Crop Protection, me and my wife, Amanda. How I got started in the outdoors, I guess just growing up, a very rural area in Florida. A lot of people think Florida is Disney World, Miami, when it's really nothing but agriculture and cattle. So from the time I was big enough to hold a gun, I was in the woods hunting, and then later in life really got intrigued by coyotes, watching them on TV, hunt them, and thought, man, I really want to get into this coyote hunting. And you learn very quick. It's not play a screaming rabbit and you get coyotes run you over. So I started off in the daylight, and then thought, man, if I can get me one of these lights I can see in the dark with, I'll kill that many more. When I first started in the daylight, just trying to learn, and nobody around me coyote hunted, I might go 15 times and not kill a coyote. And then I got a light and started scanning with a red light to start with, and shooting with a green light, just trying to figure things out. So you can imagine the amount of coyotes that I educated in this process. And then thought, man, I get me one of these night vision scopes and I'll be that much better. And then started hunting with some night vision scopes and really started posting some videos on Facebook, you know, just because I thought it was cool to video your hunts and be able to share that with people. And people started noticing I was killing coyotes, and then the property came after that. Started getting more and more property, and then after hearing several people tell me, hey, if you'll ever get you a thermal, you'll kill 3 times as many coyotes as you do with that night vision. Well, that was almost an exact statement. The last year I hunted with night vision, I killed 106 coyotes that year. And my first year with thermal, I killed 347.
Wow.
Golly, man. I mean, you know, and we're up here, you know, it just came in the 16th back in for us, the second season. And we're jockeying for 6 weeks. It goes from May 16th to June the 30th.
Right. So
Yeah.
y'all are trying to kill a coyote essentially in the hardest time of the year to kill one.
Yeah.
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 Still denned up. You know, most of your females are occupied with their dens. And so it seems like all we're seeing now is some males and some females.
Right. So, you know, learning a coyote's life cycle and what they're doing at all times of the year, that is, when you figure that out, you go to, your chances of killing coyotes increase drastically because you know what coyote you're trying to kill. Right now it's denning season. Coyotes are not traveling very far. I'm not saying you won't get the occasional one that'll travel a long distance to a call, but for the most part, you got to get in tight on them right now. Now, if you can get in tight and get close to that den, most likely they're going to come to you because essentially they are a very, very territorial animal. And you mentioned, you know, you're killing males and what seems like a younger coyote with them. So what a lot of people don't realize about a coyote is they're a breeding pair for life unless something happens, and they breed once a year. So what you have right now with that younger coyote is a nanny coyote that mom and dad kept from last year's litter to help raise this year's litter. So while that gyp's in the den with their pups, the male coyote, the nanny coyote, they're going to control the area and they're going to hunt. And when they get food, they'll come back and drop that close to the den, and then the gyp will come out and, you know, that's how she eats.
Right.
Hey, I want to answer. We're going to look at this lineup right here in just a second. But I want to get Zach's question up here. Zach Optics says, what's your opinion on the A6? Hang on just a second. What's your opinion on the A6 binos? Do they actually work like a binocular? Just wondering because I have a Elite 3 and the Stride, but I want something that has more zoom for identification at range. I'll let you answer that, Dustin.
So the A6Rs, they don't work quite like a regular set of binos because they have a very large screen, a 2.7-inch screen on the back of them there, you know, that you're looking at. And they don't have a diopter, so you may have to push them or pull them away from your face to get your eye relief right, to make your eyes focus correctly on them. As far as identifying, they do have a very good image and they zoom pretty well. But I would tell anybody that is going to purchase them that they are a large unit. Some people's going to love them and some people's going to hate them. That is something that the end user would totally have to figure out on their own. But are they a good unit? Yes. Do they work just like a pair of binoculars? No, sir.
Zach, I think Trinity's probably went and fetched our pair there to show them. But, you know, one thing that we found out real quick is with the thermal game, you almost have a partner. It seems like that you need with the A6s that we're using. You know, you're going to need something to rest those on if you're scanning through with those the whole night. You know, it's not a unit that you're going to want to hold up to your face for 25 minutes on a couch stand. You're going to want to have, you know, what we did is take a monopod and attach those binoculars to it so that we can rest that on the ground and just scan back and forth like this. So I don't know if that helps, Zach.
Yeah. So Zach, here's the A6, and you can kind of get a, you know, you can get a size comparison there, and
show them that. Show them the back there, the viewing screen.
Yeah. Here's the view. There's the screen. And the good thing about these is you know, it's got this not like this nice soft, you know, piece around the view, around the screen. So if you essentially needed to put that up to your face like that, you can, but we never use it like that. You know, I showed that picture there of Matt. Let me see if I can pull that back up here. I showed that picture of Matt there using that, and right there, and that's the most comfortable position for us to be able to use that. So we've got that on a mono trigger stick, so we can quickly, you know, adjust and everything, and you can, you know, you can swirl around with that. There ain't no big setup. It's just got this on the back, so on the bottom. And, you know, you essentially got it out here and you're watching it, and it's really nice. It's a nice setup if you've got two people. Now, if you was running a single person, you know, you're going to be up here with it, and then you're going to be switching back and forth. So this may not be a single person setup, and Dustin may allude to that just a little bit.
I agree with that. You know, I don't think it's applicable for a single person setup. If you're looking for something to have a guest look through, that way they can be in the hunt and see what's going on. You know, a lot of guys, I get asked all the time, well, my wife would like to come, but what can I get her so she can see? Well, this is a good option. And having it on a monopod is also a good idea. You know, if she wants to stand beside you, or a guest or a kid, that they, you know, they're not resting something right on their eye, that they can look through a big screen. So it works very good for that application.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they also are video capable, and they take a great video.
Yep, we think so too. I powered them on right there, and I mean, they're just I like them. Like I said, it may not be for everybody, but it sure has helped us out a whole lot. But these are the A6Rs. This has got the rangefinder in it, and real neat with video. You can Bluetooth this to your phone, just like the L6s, just like the scopes. And while we're at it, let me see right here. While we're at it, let's see what Zach says right here. He says, "Yeah, that helps. I just need something to hang out the window to ID hog across pastures mixed in with cows instead of having to hang the rifle out the window."
It will work for that.
It'll identify a hog from a cow. I promise you that.
Yeah, man, these are 640. You know, so it's pretty good resolution, man. This is there's a you know, I don't know, you know, once again how much you want to put into it, but there's A6s, but there's also A3s. Am I correct, Dustin?
That is correct. There's an A3 and now an A3R available also.
And when you say R at the end, that means it has range finding capability.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dustin, you got a fan down there in Florida. You know Gator Paul Scherer? He says Dustin is the best of the best.
I do know Mr. Paul Scherer. I sure do.
Yeah. Best of the best. Now, I'll tell you
I sure
what.
appreciate that, Mr. Paul.
It's hard to argue that when a man kills over 500 coyotes in a year.
Threw you under the bus that quick, Dustin.
Well, I get asked all the time what it takes to do that. The first thing it takes is a whole lot of stupid to be able to put your body through what you have to do to kill that amount of coyotes. Me and my wife, we sacrifice a lot of sleep and a lot of sanity. When we wound 500 up, we done that the morning of December 23rd. We killed coyote number 500. We was on night number 6 that week of hunting, and we had slept in 6 nights. We had slept 18 hours and had slept 5 of those one night alone. So it's hunt all night. You start hunting at dark, you hunt the daylight, and then you ride, you scout. Daylight scouting plays a huge role into your nighttime success because everything looks different in the dark.
Yeah. Here's Wayne Walker. Wayne Walker said, "Don't listen to him. He'll have you spending all your money and never sleeping."
Well, that's funny because that's Mr. Wayne Walker is one of my very good friends. He's one of my main partners in this deal, and I will say I'm probably responsible for him spending half of his retirement if he ever had one. I'll take that.
You good at that,
Dustin? You ain't telling us nothing about being hard on your body. We spend 2 nights out until about 4:00 a.m. and so we're almost dysfunctional for a week.
Yeah. I mean, when season gets in and we're wide open with calls, and about 2 to 3 hours a night's all we're going to sleep, and the rest of that we're wide open hunting. We've had some people that could hunt 3 nights with us, and 3 nights you got to be real tough. But when you get beyond 3 nights, you've got to get on a whole nother level of want to. It's rough. We hunted 6 nights in a row that week of Christmas. I don't never recommend that to nobody because it was bad. It was real bad.
I'd be wrecked. I mean, after 2 days, I'm wrecked. I mean, it's like you're lethargic. It's like you're thinking and everything's messed with. And it don't matter if you sleep in till 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the day. You're just done.
You're done. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, let's look at this lineup right here of RIX. I mean, we look here what Jay's making it. We walked Matt and Trini up and down some nasty hills. Listen, man, I thought I left Eastern Kentucky. I thought I left all that and come to this ag central Kentucky farmland, and I'll be dog if I didn't find the biggest mountain in central Kentucky.
It wasn't the hill that was nasty. It was the mud that deep. That was nasty. It was hard to walk down that first hill in the dark, buddy, when you've never been there before.
I guarantee you. Luckily, I don't have to deal with a lot of them kind of hills in Florida.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen a hill like this in Florida. I promise you that.
Mm-mm. Hey, Dustin, I don't know if you can see that real good, but why don't you take us through this lineup right here and just give us a little kind of synopsis into what we got.
All right, so we'll start left to right. On the left, what we have is our RIX ST6 Stride. That's a 640 by 512 helmet mount scanner that can be used to mount to a helmet, or that can also be used as a dedicated hand scanner. That's going to have a 1-power base mag on it. It does have recording capabilities. It does work very well as a helmet mount, and that's what it was originally designed for. But it does also double, like I said, as a hand scanner. That particular model there, it will retail at $29.99. What we have next is our Storm series. So we have 2 series of Storms. We have our S2, which is a 256 cord thermal scope. It has a 3.5 base mag. It's an $1,100 thermal scope, and for the money at a 256, it's surprisingly good for a 256 unit. It runs on an 18650. It records, has sound, so that's for somebody just looking to get into thermal, not sure if they really want to get there. You got the Storm S2. That retails at $1,100 again, so that's always a good option. The next model of Storm is a Storm S3, which is a 384 cord thermal unit, and it has a 3.5 base mag. Again, if you're not wanting to just spend a whole lot of money just getting into thermal, or maybe you're a little more advanced and you want something for a buddy gun, maybe something that doubles as a scanner, that unit there is going to retail at $17.99. So, still, when you're talking about thermals, that's still a very economical in a lot of people's price range that don't want to spend $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 on a thermal scope.
Yep.
Then you move over here to the center. We have the Leaps, the L3, which is a 384 cord scanner. It's going to come with a 3.2 to 9.6 base mag. Or that's going to be your optical magnification. It has a 3.2 base mag. They also have a 4 times digital zoom on the side. They are LRF compatible. With our Bluetooth LRF units we have, those retail at $500 for the LRF unit. They do come with a QD mount on them, and the L3 will retail at $23.99. I'm sorry, $22.99, not $23.99, $22.99. And then you have your L6 in that same lineup. It has all the same features as the L3, LRF compatible, except it is a 2.8 by 8.4 on the magnification on the optical side, also with a 4 times digital zoom. You're probably never going to use the digital zoom because of the optical zoom. Again, LRF compatible. That's a 640. Me personally, the furthest coyote I have shot with that scope is 555. I have killed 3 over 500 with it. That scope there will retail at $37.99. And when it comes to bad weather, the Leap series really, really stands out when bad weather comes. I've run some of the best thermal scopes on the market, and when it comes to bad weather, you just can't beat them. So pretty much anybody that's ever run an L6 about a test for that.
I got a question before we move on to the rest of the lineup here. Justin Tinsley said, if your rifle has a Picatinny rail, can you set up the gun to use a regular scope in the day and switch to thermal at night? They're getting ready to head to Africa and do some. They're going to be doing some night hunting. Could we? Could they use, or because we would be doing both day and night hunting?
Yes, sir. I mean, they come with a quick detach mount. They do return to 0 as long as you put them back in the same spot.
And Matt, you've kind of confirmed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've taken mine off, on and off, on and off, on and off. And, that black coyote I shot on March the 30th down there trending, that big bottom was close to 300 yards. And that was without zeroing anything after I'd already had the thing on and off the gun several times. So, yes.
Yep. Talk about the rest of this lineup here, Dustin, if you don't mind.
All right. So moving right on to the right, we have our Toyer. That's the T20. That's a digital day-night scope. In my opinion, this is a big sleeper in our lineup that's not talked about enough. This scope has an amazing daytime image. Looks it's very crisp. It's 3.5 by 14 on your magnification, and even when you zoom in on 14 power, this scope distorts very, very little. One quick button press and you are switched over to night vision mode. It does come with a factory IR that will get you by. But when you pair that scope with something like a Sniper Hog XLR 66 with a turbo bulb, you have a completely different animal. Identifying coyotes at 500 yards for me is not an issue. With that T20, it is just, man, it's a really nice scope.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so what did you say? One more time, what do those retail at?
So right now, those are on special for $599.
Wow. That's another option, man. That's another option RIX makes for you.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Now,
then,
Wayne said, we was talking about those scopes, said always write down your coordinates.
That is always a good idea with any thermal or digital scope, is to always write your coordinates down. The RIX line, I've not had none of mine lose the coordinates when I've done a firmware update or I've done a factory reset or I've accidentally took the battery out before I had the scope off. So I've had some thermals that when if you take the battery out before the scope's powered down or make a bonehead mistake, you'll lose your coordinates and all your settings. So that can turn into panic real fast if you don't have your coordinates written down. But it's always a good idea to have your coordinates written down.
Jay says, I have some expensive habits called hunting dogs and duck hunting. Afraid you two might have got me and the boys into another expensive habit. Telling my wife, Matt and Trinity are at fault when we buy some of this thermal stuff.
You will get blamed for a lot of things when you introduce friends into the thermal world, I promise. Wayne Walker, he likes to blame me for all of his spending habits now.
Oh, goodness. Now we get over here to the pocket.
So the pocket, this is a 256 scanner. It's a very small unit. Again, this runs on a 18650. It's a $500 thermal scanner. That's going to be for somebody that wants to look out there and see something. Do I recommend it for coyote hunting, to identify coyotes? No, I do not. If you want to look and see a heat signature, then to identify with, your leap or your storm, yes. Where, in my opinion, where that particular unit stands out is to coon hunters. If y'all guys coon hunt, you go into a tree and the coon won't let you see his eyes and you're hunting him, you can walk in there with that little scanner right there and you got him found, in a hurry. And again, it's a $500 scanner. So you're not buying a $2,000 scanner or plus as a coon hunter now. You got something that's really affordable for about anybody that's looking to get into the thermal world.
Hey, I got a question for you before we go there to those auroras, which we've talked about them a little bit. Thomas says, ask him about his two best kept secrets: mouth diaphragms and field pivots.
So some people seems to think that if you have a field pivot, it absolutely means there's coyotes there. And I guess if you watch a lot of my videos, you see a lot of those coyotes killed in a pivot field. And I've had Thomas actually sent me a picture one time not too long ago, and he said, I got my first field with a pivot. And I told him, well, there's most definitely a coyote there then.
Do you think that water draws in food sources for them coyotes?
So, in all the pivot fields is always a crop field. So there's always some type of mice, rabbit, rodent around them. And that's what the coyotes are coming to.
That's right.
It's easy meals for them. As far as the water, no. Coyote coyotes do not like to get wet. And I'm going to tell you, there's not the occasional coyote that'll get his feet wet, but I have seen coyotes more than one time run a mile around the field to keep from having to cross a puddle of water that's 1.5 feet wide and 2 inches deep, because he's just not going to get wet. Hay fields with a lot of dew on them, peanut fields that's just had the pivot run across them. That's just not a coyote's deal. He don't like to be wet.
Tell us about those auroras.
So, you in the aurora lineup, you have the A6R, which is your 640 lineup. And then you have your A3R, which is your 384 with the rangefinder. Again, in the A6s, they do have the A6R has a rangefinder. And then we do also have the regular A3. That's just a 384 cord aurora there.
Now, what's the price on those?
So the price on the A6Rs is $25.99, and the price on the A3R is $20. I believe those are $2,200 right now.
Awesome. And man, they work great. I mean, that's what we've got, and the rangefinders. I mean, it helps knowing how close that dog is.
100%.
Oh yeah.
So for me, it's knowing how far a coyote is. In a big pasture here in Florida. I hunt a lot of big, wide open spaces, and knowing how far a coyote is that's paramount to hitting him. You'll hear some people say, well, if you could call coyotes better, you wouldn't have to shoot them 300 plus yards, 400 yards. That's just not always the case. Sometimes there's things that don't allow that. They're, the wind, they might be an obstacle, a creek or something they're across that they're just not going to cross, or you might get a coyote hung up on a territorial boundary. I practice pretty regular to 500 yards. Just last week I was hunting and had some coyotes answer me, and coyote come out of a head of woods, and he got to a certain point in a field and he was back and forth. And at that point in time, I know he's not crossing that territorial boundary. I didn't have the option to get any closer to him. So after I ranged him 3 times at 522 yards, I sent him a package and he received it.
That's awesome. Hey, Jay says, FYI, the big long hayfield at my dad's got rolled today, Matt.
That's good to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What would be good for Christy to use in the blind to be able to just watch and see what we are seeing while hunting?
An ST6.
ST6. That's a stride, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that's going to be that stride right there on the end, right there.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yep. Okay. I don't want to show.
You're not getting deep enough into Justin's pockets with that one. You should have told him the Aurora A6s is what you should have told him.
Oh, well, that stride costs a little more.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
well, you did good.
That stride costs quite a bit more.
I tell you what, Dustin, if they've not checked out your page or checked out RIX Optics page, you check out RIX Optics right there. Go over and give them a like. They can check out your page. They're going to see all kinds of, and I always say the proof's in the pudding, man. I mean, he needs one of them wool wine drags on that, Matt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, that's a Predator Paracord Creations drag. Mr. Russell Childs builds them out of Cairo, Georgia. That is my original drag. That drag has drug almost 2,000 coyotes and several hundred hogs and deer.
I can only imagine the smell right there, Dustin.
My wife washes it pretty regular.
Yeah. But just coming from all those dogs right there, man. Whew.
So those 6 coyotes right there actually come from the horse farm video that I had that went viral with the coyotes jumping the fences and all.
Yeah.
That's where those 6 right there come from. I killed all those on one set.
That's awesome.
Wow. What rifle set up? Bullet size? What are you running?
So I run a 224 Valkyrie on an AR platform, and then I run a 22 Creedmoor on a bolt gun. But my primary gun is a 224 Valkyrie is what I usually run. And I shoot 1776 ammunition out of it. A real good friend of mine owns the company, and the actual 224 Valkyrie load is one of the loads that I worked up for the company. So if
I tell you what, Matt, Gator Paul and Justin Tinsley has got your number, son. Has got your number. Paul said, Justin, feed Matt more. Maybe he'll let you use his thermal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin says, Paul Sherry, it would be cheaper to just buy the whole line of optics.
Oh man, the picture you have there, that is actually the night that I killed 500. That's the lineup that made 500 right there.
That's awesome, dude. Wow. That is awesome. I'll tell
Number
you what.
500
go ahead.
is actually laying under the call.
Number 500 under the call. That is awesome. And you're using Fox Pro MFK calls?
Fox Pro X24 and MFK calls. You can't beat them.
You pair that with one of them RIX on top of one of them rifles, man, it means some chaos is coming at some dogs.
There's no doubt. You put all that together, and it's definitely money, And a lot of people ask me what tripod I run. I run a Warrior tripod. Those guys are great. Been real good to me. Without a good foundation, it don't matter. If you don't have that good foundation to shoot off of, everything else can be good. But
that's right.
That's pretty important there.
Needs to be rock solid, man.
There's no doubt. Y'all was talking earlier about phone cameras. At the beginning of the show, that last picture you had up there, I actually took that with my iPhone.
One of the best cameras you ever have in your hands. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at some of these videos, man. I hope the sound ain't too loud on these. I done the best I could. Let me.
You must be Gator Bay. You already know. We the champions, homie. I'm a Florida Gator. I'm a Florida Gator. I'm a Florida Gator. I'm a Florida Gator. So you must be Gator. So you must be Gator.
So that video there is from a gator from last week. I went to turn the curve, and he was actually laying in the road. And then he got up coming to me, and he seen the coon make a break for it, and he run on across the road. So that gator, he actually come up and laid down in the road, and I drove up there probably 10 foot from him, and I wouldn't go past him because I didn't want him to tear the bumper off my truck. And so me and him had a standoff there for about 15 minutes before he finally decided to get off the road where I could go by him. And there's another video I posted where he just got up and walked off the road and laid down. But that gator right there is around 11 foot.
Is this the second gator one? I got it.
That was the first gator there. Yeah, that's the second one there. Actually, last week I seen several gators. I had another video posted where I just killed a pair of coyotes out of a cow pasture, and right where they fed the cows, turned around and there was about a 9-footer laying there.
Yeah. That is, I seen that. That was awesome. Justin said he's going to miss Matt cleaning my plate at Cobus's this year.
Just, hey, get a doggy bag and bring them back home, buddy, because I tell you what, Cobus and his people, they sure know how to cook.
Yeah. Shane Paget said Dustin is a stone cold killer when it comes to coyote hunting.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some dog. Right, we got I hope it plays. For some reason, it ain't loading the video all the way up. This thing can be finicky sometimes. I want to see if we can get this to play. It's a pretty awesome video.
says no trespassing.
If I was you, I would probably keep it moving.
Yeah, come on in if you're looking for some action.
You better believe it, cause we gon' give it to you.
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard tonight, boys, but this was, did you doubled here?
So that's me and my wife there, and that's a good video to play. The backstory on that video is when those coyotes answered me, they was right at a mile when they answered, and they cut the distance pretty fast. And watching those coyotes coming there, they're big mad about somebody being in their territory. And you can see them. That's a male and a female. They're coming across there, and they're scratching and peeing and back and forth around each other, and they coming to fight. And the moon was real bright that night, and when they got out there, they was about 178 yards, and they had done started seeing something that wasn't quite right, and so when they got right, we went ahead and took care of them.
Luke Mosley said he does okay. I taught him everything he knows. He was not the best student.
You know, Big Brother ain't gonna give you a whole lot of credit sometimes.
Yeah. It's a tough crowd, but I see you got one down south too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got some that's fairly rough.
Man, I wish that would play for some reason.
You're talking about, during the denning season, getting in close. So, getting in close is kind of a relative term. When you use that term, do you need to be within 200 yards of a coyote? Do you need to be within 500 yards? Or do you need to be within a half a mile? What is your take on it?
So right now, if I know there's coyotes somewhere and I know they're there, I like to be within 300 yards of them. And then if they don't come, then I'll cut the distance in half. Yeah, and if I can get closer to them, I will. But I want them to feel like I've kicked their front door down, like I have really offended them and made them mad. Sometimes an analogy I use when I'm talking to people about coyote hunting is if you're sitting in your house and there's somebody across the road and they're hollering and making a commotion, you might open the door and holler at them, or say something to them, but you might come and you might go across there and you might not. Well, if they cross that road and, there's a better chance of you coming then. And again, you may go and you may not. But if he kicks your front door down, you have no choice but to come then.
Yeah. Hey, let me try this video one more time. I don't know if it's going to play out. Let me try it one more time.
All right.
Ben says no trespassing.
If I was you, I would probably keep it moving.
Yeah, come on in if you're looking for some action.
You better believe it, cause we gon' give it to you. Come on.
Hold it down for my people in the backwoods. Damn right, this is where we come from. We cut them down and we leave them in the backwoods. We don't hide and we don't ever run. Damn right. Well, I'm out here country living. I don't give a damn about what you do, cause it ain't none of my damn business. So don't put your nose all in mine. Don't come around here sniffing. Keep your head up out my bushes, or you might just end up missing.
Well, I kept the real from Dave.
Double KO handed out there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
That was a pretty good countdown. 1, 2, 3.
We've that's one thing that I see a lot of people make mistakes on teams when they're hunting is there's not a lot of unison with somebody with a team. You'll get one person that wants to jump the gun and shoot. We practice a lot as a team on a range. Me and my wife and Wayne Walker, we'll practice with life-size coyote silhouettes. We'll get there, and it don't matter how advanced some people may think they are, but we still do it. We'll talk, hey, you see the coyote, I'm always in the middle. So, we'll use, hey, when the coyote stops, or we'll count it down. I'll bark on a diaphragm, we'll count it down, and we'll shoot. And, so everybody gets in unison. And, there's a lot of times when we shoot, like if we're shooting a runner or something and somebody hits him, we'll go, oh, well, I got him. And they're like, well, I got him. And then you don't realize it. And there's 3 people shot at the coyote. It sounds like one shot. And that was on a runner. So, getting in unison with your team and learning how to read a coyote, those are big factors in killing numbers of coyotes. Instead of having that one guy that's coyotes running in and the coyote stops and they shoot before everybody's ready, or before it's time to shoot. So now you've killed a single where that guy's might have missed instead of killing a double or a triple. And that's the difference in killing numbers and educating coyotes.
Yep. Shane Paget said, y'all don't listen to Luke. Dustin is also one of the best knife sharpeners in the country. His knife's cut 2 inches in front of the blade. Pretty sharp.
That's pretty sharp there now.
Yeah. Man, Dustin, I'll tell you, man, can't thank you enough. I know it's getting prime time for you there. Looks like it's dark. What you got for us in closing, man?
Man, just thanks for everybody listening. Appreciate everybody following the RIX page. Appreciate the people that follows me. And if you want to see some coyote content, or feel free to reach out and ask me any questions on my social media. I'll do everything I can to get back to you pretty quick. And anybody that follows me that don't follow Trinity, hey, give him a like and a follow. And if you haven't looked at the lineup of RIX Optics, check them out. Look at them. You won't be sorry. Yeah,
man. Just excited to be teamed up with you and RIX, man. Just top of the line. I mean, I hope Commonwealth up here gets on board with some more thermal night hunts. I mean, it's effective. We're showing that on some of the farms, especially there at Matt's farm. Matt has whacked and stacked the coyotes, man, since getting on the thermal scene. And I mean, it works as far as predator management goes, and thermal hunting is the only way to see big results when it comes to coyote management.
It sure helps, and I won't take nothing from a good trapper. If you got a good trapper and a good coyote hunter, you can sure enough hurt the coyote population.
That's right.
Some people will say that the more you kill, the more it shows up. I don't believe that none, because I do have areas that I hunt, large areas, that there just ain't many coyotes there no more at all.
Right. Yep.
Well, the fact is if you shoot 2 and 2 move in, and then you shoot those 2 and 2 more move in, I mean, eventually the funnel runs empty.
Eventually the funnel will run empty. I mean, and I'll tell people this, there's a lot of times you'll have a set, that you go to and you're like, man, I kill coyotes here all the time. But one day you're going to kill the last pair of coyotes that's going to inhabit that for a while. I have places that I would kill coyotes every time I went there. And I've probably not killed a coyote in some of those places in 2 or 3 years now.
They know better. They know who showed up. That's right.
So before we leave, Dustin, we talked about it. It's denning season. And I know Florida may be a little bit different than Central Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. But you're running Fox Pro X24. It's the same thing we're running. We're running a lot of MFA calls on that.
Yes, sir.
You pull into a set. What sounds are you running through first? What are you doing?
So when I pull into a set, I don't have any particular sound sequence I'm going to run. When I pull up there, I'm going to read that set when I go there. So I wing a lot of things, but you can almost guarantee I'm going to start with some type of howl, and I'm going to end with some type of fight. I know that sounds like a vague answer, and there's a lot that can go on in between there, but I have to let that stand or the coyotes that's there tell me, what's my next move.
Yeah.
You using prey calls in between?
So I killed 99% of my coyotes on vocals.
On coyote vocals.
Yes, sir. Now, knowing what those vocals are saying is key. Especially this time of the year. I do believe you need to. I pay attention to the coyotes that's in certain areas where I hunt, because you'll have some coyotes when you pull up to that area. Those coyotes there is very submissive. The ones that's there, they're going to come, but they might not come blowing in there 100 miles an hour, hard charging. They're coming, but it's going to take them a little while. So you sort of learn your coyotes that's inhabiting certain properties, where if you go to some properties, you're not going to get through with your first set of howls, and they're going to be running you over. So the data that I collect through the years from that is, it helps me regulate the how long I'm going to be on a set. It's very rare that I'm on a set longer than about 12 minutes.
Gotcha. Good question, man. Thanks for that answer.
Yes, sir.
Matt, what you got in closing?
That's it, man. If you've not done this, I'm telling you what, it will quickly become your favorite thing to do. So get out there, get with it. There's, starting out, you're going to blow plenty of clock calls. You're going to run plenty of electronic calls. And you're going to set up several times before you see a coyote probably. But when that first one comes in, you're going to be hooked for life. I mean, to me, it's as exciting as opening day of turkey season at 5:30 when the first gobble goes off. Though, I mean, they're hand in hand for me. When I see a coyote at 500 yards and he's headed our direction, I mean, I'm tore all to pieces.
Yep. Right here's your chance, folks. Go ahead, Dustin.
I was agreeing with Matt. When I pull in there and coyote, I mean, as many as I've killed, when I pull in there and coyotes answer me and they're big mad and they come in there, just mad wanting to fight, especially when they'll stop and scratch and growl and bark and pee on everything and come on in there. That's good to me right there.
Yep.
Yeah. The very first coyote that I caught in a foothold trap had to be an alpha male. And when I seen the evil in his eyes and the way that he talked to me when I got close, and he had zero fear of me, I knew right then that I wanted to kill everyone I could possibly find. And that was years ago. And I'm telling you what, I still get excited every time one comes in.
Absolutely.
Jay, we ain't done. We ain't done yet, babe. We'll be back. Big thanks to you for hanging out with us. Let's be part of your bunch. I tell you, man, you all are a class act, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate your friendship. Big things to come, brother. Big things to come. Thank you all very much. Appreciate you. Right here's your chance, folks. You got till June the 30th. You better be getting on the phone. You better be sending us a message. If you are short of saying, man, I just don't know about this thermal game, I'm right there on the bubble. Right here's your chance. Right here, folks, the Bicknell Bunch. I mean, go look at their page. There are no more honorable people and great people than the Bicknell Bunch. Right here, talking about what a good time they've had. Listen, give us a call, shoot us a message. You're going to be running. You don't need to bring anything but yourself. You're going to be running these RIX thermal optics, these L6s, A6 binoculars. We got all the equipment. We're going to be taking you out, showing you a grand time, man. And this will hook you for life. And this is a great night to spend with us. We can do a lot of different things. And as always, show special. You book tonight, we're going to knock $25 off your booking. So I hope you'll give us a call and let us get you out there and enjoy it. And listen, I'll bet you this. Once you go out and you do this with us, we'll be talking to Mr. Williams right there about getting you hooked up with some RIX thermal optics. That's for sure.
Hey, Randy.
Yep.
Since this is kind of a special show with having Dustin on here.
Yep.
Why don't we knock $50 off?
We'll knock $50 off. How about that? $50 off. You just scared You scared Dustin off the show, bud.
He may be getting his credit card information. He may be wanting to come hunt with us.
He may want to see what it's all about to hunt with him. There he is. I'm sorry about that, Dustin. I thought Matt scared you off the show there for a minute.
I thought y'all done left me.
No, buddy. We don't leave no man behind, son. That's right. $50 off, folks. Call tonight till midnight. $50 off right there. Real quick, Paul Scherer said, Dustin, thank you for your time. That's exactly right.
Paul.
Bicknell Bunch said, absolutely. RIX, give RIX a follow. Also, head over to Bicknell Bunch Outdoors, man. If you look for some positivity in your life, you better head over there and follow this page. Great inspiration, great people. Love these folks. It is awesome. Also, right here, folks, proof's in the pudding. Trapline Beard Oil LLC. Our good buddy Brian throwing out some great products. I don't have the rest of it in here. It's in there in the bathroom because I ain't got this big beard that a lot of you folks do, but my beard's getting Trapline products every day. So you better go over and give them a follow. Great bunch of guys. As you can see right there, they're in it to win it too with the Predators. And also Global Outdoors decoys, talking about those silhouettes. Right here they are. Some of the best durable decoys in the world, easy to pack and realistic. And these things work, man. Love them. Right there you go. And as always, if you haven't followed us, please follow us. We appreciate that, Jay. Thank you very much. We'd love to take everybody out and show them a good time, get them hooked on this thermal night hunt. We need every dog we can take a dirt nap. So, guys, that's all I got. We got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Dustin, thank you, man.
Absolutely. Very welcome. Glad to be on it.
Looking forward to it. Looks like you and the missus getting ready to go hand out some chaos to some coyotes.
Yeah, she's outside the truck scanning and looking and just waiting. And I've tried to keep the lighting in the truck as bright as I can, but my truck lights just ain't that bright.
Well, I'm just glad she didn't have to hear us call you Mr. 500. So.
Oh, good Lord. I was waiting on that.
I didn't do it, Dustin. Remember, I didn't do it. I pulled that back. Just know who the antagonist is here. And it goes, he goes for par.
I understand.
Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to On Air and Outdoors. We appreciate you so much. Remember, if you want to know the creator, look at the creation, man. Every week, we're telling you about this great creation and all the many blessings we get to have and go out and enjoy. We hope you're doing the same thing. Join us back here next week, right here on Tuesday for On Air and Outdoors. We'll see y'all soon.
Eastern Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, field of trees. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where those dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name.